The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies.
Tape Never Lies.
Starts now. The Tape Never Lies Network. Starts now.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape.
Loses the football. Strip sack and
Bears our live. Bears our live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talks and the smartest man alive. Bears our live.
Son of a bitch, you better block.
Bears our live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talk and the smartest man alive. We're up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Philly bring that range within with facts by shade. Post-game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. True to fundamentals, never gimmicks and tricks. Guess we're moving Soldier Field up to Arlington Heights. Mill out counting bucks while the mayor big fights. Our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame show, expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
but don't you worry.
Bears Our Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go
Let him sit his ass there again. I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Ototion.
This is football, baby. Culture is the problem. Let's get on the little thing. Bears our life. Bears our
Son of a bitch, you better block.
life.
That's what happens. That's when you have a real
Right
good team.
after Bears
And let's
games
get it
with
on.
your boys draft talk and the smartest.
Give me some fucking names.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Oh, my Lord. I don't know what to tell you. Right out the gate, because I know Shane and the crew are in Chicago to witness probably what is the worst coached football team in the NFL, and it's not even close. Not even close. Where do you begin? Let's begin with where the problems begin. You know, Daryl Johnston alluded to it in the broadcast. You know, real recognizes real. What they are allowed to say versus what they should be saying. Good on you, Daryl. The problem lies with alpha men leading alpha football players. There it is. The Chicago Bears are run by a 100-year-old woman and her son, who are afraid to swear on HBO Hard Knocks. The ownership down. You knew what was going on with this coach last year. He's a shoe salesman. Those want to point the fingers and have all this fun for now. Great. It's really a huge, embarrassing travesty of epic proportions. The Chicago Bears are coached by a buffoon, a slow-witted, absolute imbecile, completely, utterly overwhelmed each and every week, afraid to make the tough decision, but has the decisions to fire people for doing shit in-house happen. Not where it matters, on the field. The performance over the politics doesn't reign supreme with George, Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, and company. Shane Waldron should have been fired 3 weeks ago. I'm telling you. His game plan is completely throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Allowing Caleb to call plays and check is not in this area yet. He's a freshman. You got to make the play calls appropriate. Attack the quick passing game. Run the football. It's a travesty. There's no energy. The players have quit on the coach. They're soft. They're soft. They're pointing fingers. That's on you. The team is a reflection of the head coach. I say it all the time. When you're not prepared and you don't have an identity, in 3 years, 3 years, that reflects on you, the head coach. Shane Waldron couldn't coach high school. He's horrible. Yet he's out there leading this football team. You got no answers. Those little assholes have your fucking parade. Break Caleb's balls. But I'm telling you right now, down 4 starting offensive linemen, both tackles, a guard you signed who's a cancer in the locker room. Your other guard getting injured. Both your left tackle, your right tackle, the 4th round left tackle you drafted, he's out. The whole offensive line is out, right? What is your game plan there? Go empty on 3rd and 2? Let's throw a fucking bubble screen. It's the same story. Yet he's going to walk the podium and talk about execution and the positives and good weeks of practice. And it all comes down to execution. No, it doesn't, coach. It all boils down to your game plan. Putting your young quarterback in a situation where you're scheming things over, not running dash to the short side of the fucking field with nobody running. Just give a sack. Bubble screen on 3rd and 2 where you should be 4 down territory running the ball twice. Nope. Let's throw a fucking bubble to DJ Moore. That almost gets intercepted because New England knows every call. And every time Caleb is checking, New England's going, we got it. We know it. Get in zone. They're trying to run a man beater here because we showed a man. Now you're no. Run the play that's fucking called, but you don't have a good play caller. You're ruining a quarterback again with your fucking complete misuse of understanding alpha men need to be coaches. You need an alpha man that's going to hold players accountable. DJ Moore isn't giving DJ Moore effort. It's on you, coach. Your offensive coordinator's running right into problems because you kept them there, coach. You had a chance to take away the play calling, but you didn't. You stuck with complete and utter overwhelmed offensive coordinator with no plan, no identity. What's your identity, coach? You have to give me word salad because you don't have one. Let's keep Gerald Everett out there, who gives absolutely nothing. You're running jet sweep. He doesn't even attack. Every play has to be like your life depends on it. But you don't get that out of guys. You can see it. You see it. They don't care. And people are flying in all over the world for this shit. George, Kevin, you want a fucking stadium? You deserve a fucking pot to piss in. That's it. You don't deserve shit. This is an epic failure on every level of this franchise. The only thing you did right was move on from Fields. And I know you're going to have your field. If Justin was out there, he would have ran for 2 touchdowns. Whatever the fuck. That ain't going to get it done. Right now, you got a Lamborghini, and it's being driven by a fucking 12-year-old as the offensive coordinator, and a 10-year-old head coach who hasn't won a game on the road, has no fucking game plan, is completely overwhelmed in situational football. Every level of this football team failed today. It's a showcase of you. Yeah, he'll come to the fucking podium. He'll come to the fucking podium and he'll talk about all the things that they did positive and about execution and what have you. It's a shame. It's a fucking shame on every level of football how atrocious this football team is. I gotta make sure I get the presser up here. But I don't even have Shane or anybody to turn and say that is my rant. So you fans that were in the fucking stadium and pussed out on an opportunity to get a chant going. Fire, Flus. Fire, Flus. Fire, Flus. Get it going for the whole fourth fucking quarter. Let everybody fucking know. You can't even fucking do that together. Instead, we're sitting here watching these fucking ass clowns coach a football game that they can't even fucking coach. It's an organizational failure of epic proportions. We're talking every level, man. Misuse of personnel. Situational football. Not that there is many. You get a turnover, you're trying to go action off of it, and you have nobody to the action side. Wait till you see it. There's nobody there. You're on dash pass. Everybody's on the out. This guy scrambles out of the pocket. Everybody's going left. There's no hustle to get back into the face of the quarterback. I mean, every level of this game, every level. Toss play. You get tossed, you get 8. You come back, you get tossed, and Swift cuts it up the field for God knows what the fuck for. All he has to do is go outside. He's down the left sideline. They can't execute. It's like watching somebody who's got every tool that in their fucking shed, their toolbox, and they're using it the wrong way. They're using a wrench as a hammer. That's what it's watching. That's what it feels like watching this fucking team. If you think any quarterback behind this clown is going to be successful, please don't watch this show. Go somewhere the fuck else, because I'm telling you right now, the level of complete, utter failure that you see in dysfunction is on Matt Eberflus, 150,000%. You got a rookie quarterback. Nothing is simplified. Nothing. That's a problem. On Truvius Sweezy, $4.99. Total organizational failure. Puss Flus needs to apply for jobs at the used car dealership, the shoe store on the side. The shit makes me sick. I'm waiting for this coach's presser. I totally agree with you, Pontruvius. I've called this guy the shoe salesman since the second half of the first season. The second season, you could just see how piss poor he is. Everyone's on me because they think that they're tanking to win. No. Situationally, you got to be successful. They're not. Sorry, guys. I'm not falling for your scheme. What quarterback can do this? He's a generational guy, Phil. You said you can't do it if you're fucking completely showing your hand. It's like somebody giving everyone else your plays as you're trying to call it. Have you ever beaten somebody so bad in Madden? Come on. What quarterback is going to help you? Which one? Which one's going to help you there? Justin? Come on. Please. Please. It's scary how bad your offensive coordinator is. There has to go into play. Okay, let's look who's out. Braxton Jones, your left tackle. Darnell Wright, your top 10 right tackle. You following me? Nate Davis, you signed to this big fucking deal. He's been a cancer in the locker room. He's out. Amagaji, who you drafted in the third round. He's out. You're rotating in and out at guard. You moved your right guard, journeyman right guard that you played left guard, out to right tackle. Ryan Bates, who you traded for to be the center, is playing right guard. Kevin Jenkins gets hurt. He goes out. Now you got 3 centers inside playing left guard, center, and right guard. And yet you're trying to go empty sets in critical downs. Doesn't make sense, guys. It's a 13-3 game, and you're trying to fucking throw empties with a shitty line. How many sacks they give up? A record 9, 10? Mohamed El-May, my God, $4.99. At some point, you would think pride kicks in and change things. There's no backbone. Bro, I agree with you. There's no fucking backbone. I'm going to get into every super chat. Just throw them in here. Because I honestly have never seen anything like this. E-Will48. $9.99. Thank you. This is what would have happened if we drafted a good QB in the past. The Bears are abysmal. We are worse than the Panthers with talent that's on the team. Fucking ridiculous. E-Will, I totally agree with you. Listen, you have to have some balls. As an organization, you need change. Eberflus's acronyms are falling on deaf ears. That's why when you ask DJ Moore, I think so. What? The fucking McCaskies can't be afraid of alphas. You can't bring the guys that you go to church with on your staff to lead these guys. You just can't. Shouldn't be the prerequisite. Are they a good leader of men? That's the number one check mark. It's not X's and O's. It's not. Oh, he's a great play caller. No, that's a great for the coordinator. The head coach needs to be an alpha. You had the opportunity to bring the biggest, baddest alpha here, and you fail every time. But then last year, to line up with the quarterback that you knew you were taking, you didn't even go after Harbaugh. You just, let's keep Matt Eberflus, who would have been fired as the defensive coordinator of the Colts. Windy City Twins, $4.99. Ownership's afraid of fans recording at training camp and their image across the board, but bring Lil Durk to training camp and pregame this year. A guy that's attached to murder, violence, and stupidity, they bring to training camp. Drop the N-word on Hard Knocks, Soft Knocks, but can't swear. Can't let Greg record a goddamn player in shoulder pads and helmets for fear that there's some sort of secret that's going to go out there. This team is a reflection of its pussy head coach who can't even show up when we go there to meet and greet. He's not even there. Because I don't have a filter. I'm just going to tell it like it is. Ian Cunningham is the only guy that came up to me and said, no, I respect TTNL for what you do because you hold us accountable. How about putting that same shit on your coach or your team? How about doing that, Chicago Bears? It's an embarrassment. You have the worst head coach in football. It's not even close. Not even close. What world does Gerald Everett get starting rep right now with what he's put on tape? What world don't you, as the head coach or your wide receiver coach, get in the face of DJ Moore and challenge him? Challenge him with the tape. Can't be afraid, coach. Benjamin Hooper, 1999. Caleb looks like a man defeated, rightfully so. As a lifelong Bear fan, it's such painful and so obvious that the head coach and OC are unprepared and overwhelmed. Guys, thank you, Ben. I appreciate you. Appreciate every fucking fan that has come in here with real truths and expectations. Real truth. Right there is a real truth. At what point don't you see that somebody can't coach, can't be a head coach, can't handle this kind of stress? It's too big. The pressure, when you start controlling the little things, the big things are out of control. So when you start worrying about somebody filming at training camp, the little things like that, the big things, you're so overwhelmed. It's sad. It's sad, and your GM is nowhere to be found. There's no accountability. I need somebody to be a statistician for me. I have no stats. I can't throw any at you. We don't do stats. But, I mean, I don't know if you could say, Patrick, please put your comment in there. I can't see what you had to say, and it probably was awesome. I'm sorry. I'll just make one up for you. This coach is horrible for $4.99. You're right, Patrick. He is. Lawrence Kritzman, my guy, $2. I'm tired of this shit every year. It's pathetic. 100%. Fucking absolutely pathetic. The Bears are what? Oh, for the last 28? What is it? What is the record of the Bears on the road? I think it's like 29 straight games. It is something absurd. It's worse than Mark Trestman and Matt Nagy. It's not even close. It's not a close race. It's not a close race. It's an absolute travesty. It's a new fucking low, as Jason G is saying. 100% agree with you. You can't get any lower than this right now. And it's sad. It's sad like guys like EJ are going to walk around and try to strut their stuff and not really put football into appropriate formats. Like, you're not. Sorry, EJ. Can't flip-flop. Where were you? 2-3 weeks ago, you're jumping this way. No, I don't do that. What I do is call it the truth. I don't care if it's John Elway the fuck back there. Put the problems in the right fucking place. You don't call a plumber to fix a leak and have him fix the fucking boiler. That's what you fans are doing. Put the fucking blame where it belongs, on the coach. On the fucking GM that's afraid to fire his buddy when he knows it should be business first. Stop. It's dumb. The only thing right is if you keep putting Caleb with these kind of schmucks as coaches, then you ruin that quarterback. Period. That's the only stand in soapbox you could ever stand on. Stop. It's embarrassing. Starts with Ryan Poles being a pussy. He should have known this guy isn't the answer. Many people know. A lot of people know. They're worried about swearing. Please. We knew Shane Waldron was a fraud to begin with. A rookie QB with -5 offensive linemen starters isn't going to overcome them in these stupid, completely oblivious play calls. It's so overwhelming and stupid that we got to deal with stupid fans like that. Come on. Put the fucking blame. I didn't call you over here to fix the boiler. I called you over here to fix the leak. The leak is the fucking head coach and the GM has to do something. You cannot continue to fucking let this coach should be fired tonight. I kid you not. Fired tonight. You can't continue the recourse of this positives and execution. How much you want to bet? It's all about execution. You didn't execute. How many times is your coach going to say that today? That's when I know he's a fucking fool. How many times? How many times will Eberflus come out here and say, you know, we didn't execute. It's about execution. And when you don't, fuck out of here. It's an embarrassment. Stop. I'm not taking blame off of Caleb. I'm putting the absolute truth into perspective. Nobody's going to win with that shit. Let's go out to Soldier Field right now. Turn your phone.
I'm sorry. Everything's upside down, bro.
Oh my God, dude.
Fucking pathetic.
So pathetic. Like you couldn't write it to be more pathetic.
Phil, there was more excitement over the halftime show than at any point on the field. I mean, it's going beyond the ineptness of the coaching staff and all of that. All of these guys don't give a fuck. They're all in full I don't give a fuck mode. Every single one of them. You can see it in warm-ups. You see it. Phil, the shit on the sidelines, bro, and I'm talking every one of them. All of them, Caleb included. All these guys are tapped the fuck out. They're defeated, like Cronin said. Yeah. No, I get it.
Out. You're not getting the message from them. You don't believe in the coach.
Exactly. And if they don't do, somebody's got to lose their job tonight. Somebody does.
It's got to be Eberflus.
It's got
and the OC. Both of them.
I totally agree. The way that this is, I mean, holy shit, they're gonna get beat by 20 next week playing like this. But Phil, DJ Moore is out there. Tyreek Stevenson again.
He got pulled in the game and benched. Then he comes back out there
because he was talking shit and doing his little fucking get up in the guy's face. He did it twice during the game. It's fucking pathetic, man. It just sit his ass down and leave his ass there. Tevin goes out again with a fucking ankle injury. You would have thought somebody carpet bombed him. His reaction. It's over a fucking ankle injury.
Fuck this team. They suck.
Fire the fucking coach.
They have to
hire you guys.
to coach this fucking dumpster fire. You can swear. Go ahead.
The Bears fucking suck.
Yeah.
You guys are all the way in Chicago. We could see it on TV. My son's 10 years old. And he's like, these guys aren't playing with heart.
None.
Playing with pride.
None. It's terrible. They're tapped out every single one of them, man. And it's this is my son's first time in Soldier Field in his life. And midway through, he's like, I could take a nap right now. That's how excited I am. Of course, we went on a all-night bender last night, so that didn't help. But probably shouldn't be announcing that with my son here. But yeah, dude, just no vibe at all. None. The entire stadium.
I think the
flat.
only time that anyone was excited was the TJ versus reception.
Yeah, that was it. They got
half was the library.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I could hear somebody.
It's like Ron G said. You could hear Phil in the middle of the game. You could hear the sirens downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how pathetic is that? It's just, it's where we're at. And if Ryan Poles doesn't do his job, he needs to go to.
Andre Rule.
Here he is, the head coach.
Sent him home.
But
You want to listen and come back?
yeah, I'll let you go because we're getting ready to bounce out of here. We're gonna take.
So this game right here, obviously,
All right,
as a
Shane.
head football coach, all disappointed, accepting accountability.
All
for
disappointed,
everything.
accepting.
And then really just looking inward at myself first, and that's what I asked the players to do too, and the coaches.
They're not playing for you,
Take a
coach.
good hard look at everything that we're doing, and play good complementary football. I thought we started the game out solid, in terms of having some momentum there with the big return, with the interception, and those types of things. And we have to do a good job of capitalizing on those to create momentum early. And the great thing I told the players is that I said that we have evidence on tape of doing that.
Oh, you do,
It'd be
coach.
different if you didn't have any evidence.
You have
We
evidence on
of
tape.
that. And
Wow.
It's the same guys.
Guess
in the room,
what?
same guys
That
in the
message
circle.
falls on deaf ears
So
too.
it's important that we find
This guy is
a way to
so
get that done. And the only way
sad.
to get that done is
So
pulling together.
fucking sad.
It's not
You're
about
pathetic.
pulling apart.
Hold them
There's gonna be
accountable.
A bunch of outside noise.
Don't
as
just
we
talk
know,
to
and I told
them.
that. I said, but
Hold them
we have to do-
accountable.
We have to pull together to find the answers.
No,
'cause
you
we
don't
have
have
all the
to pull them
answers that we need.
together. It goes
We
on
have
you.
evidence that on tape.
It goes
winning
on
games,
you.
Playing great complementary football, playing with great passion this year. And that's the one thing to look forward to. But again, we got to take a hard look, inward look, accept accountability, and then be accountable to the guy to the right and the guy to the
Oh,
left.
so you're now
And
seeing that
that's how
some
you do this
players
thing,
aren't
when you have
being
adversity
accountable.
Like this,
So that means
that's
your
how you pull
message,
together.
your
That's the only answer
fucking
you can have.
terrible
But
coaching
again, like I
staff,
said, I'll take full
and you.
responsibility for it.
You talk about
You have to
accountability
come
and
to the
responsibility.
podium.
What in a performance like this, what specifically are you accountable for that should have been better?
The whole thing, right? The
Okay.
operation of it.
One baby
offense,
step
defense,
forward.
kicking. That's the job of the head coach. And
One
so to
baby
me,
step
that's,
forward,
accountability.
EJ, for you, buddy.
The offense-
Your boy,
your
EJ.
role as head coach
You wanted to
was
keep
this
him.
bad.
There he is
Well, I
for
would
you.
just say that. I would just go back to we have the men in
Fucking
the
crazy.
room, and we have evidence on tape of doing it. We've played some good complementary games in
Yeah,
terms of offense,
evidence
defense,
on
and kicking,
tape.
and we've
Let's
scored
run a
points,
screen at the goal line,
a
coach.
few games in a row.
Let's do that.
And done a good job of that. So we have to find the winning
Let's
way
run a
and our winning
fucking
formula to
screen.
get that done.
Offense can't consistently find ways to play complementary football. The team just won't win games. Ultimately, you're going to be held accountable to that, perhaps maybe even to the point of termination. Because my question to you is, are you willing to be fired without ever exploring the possibility that the offense could be better with better offensive game planning and play calling by changing the coordinator?
Nice
Yeah, like I
question,
said,
Herb.
we'll look at everything.
We'll look
I
at
think it's
everything.
Look from everything from the.
You should have been looking at everything in the summer. You were afraid to hire Cliff Kingsbury because you were afraid you'd lose your job to him.
Team on offense, defense, and special teams.
You're a
Changing offensive play
fucking
callers on the table this
pussy.
I just said we're looking at everything. Everything's going to be looked at.
How do you explain the offensive ineptitude of today?
Yeah. Again, we'll go back and look.
Again,
There were several things. Protection was broken down a little bit. In terms of the route disciplines, all those things. It's always everybody, right?
you're
It's always
afraid of
everybody. When
people
you
like
get blindside,
Olin
some of
Kreutz
this,
walking
like,
in the
you don't want that to
building
happen.
in calling
That's
the
everybody
leaks
thing.
out.
That's rhythm and timing of the quarterback.
Not
That's,
trying to
protection
fix the
of
boiler.
offensive line. That's
Calling the
disciplines of
leaks.
the guys running the routes.
You have no
all that.
accountability, no
It's all at the
respect
same
from
time.
these veterans.
It's an everybody thing.
DJ Moore, Shane's telling you.
Changes made tomorrow to show tangible change. You could lose the locker room.
You already did.
No, I don't think so.
You already lost the locker room.
I do
Come
believe
on.
in those guys.
My
They
son's
have faith,
10, he can see it.
In us working together. I believe in our football team. I believe in the leaders in the
So
football
the
team.
guys that quit on the team don't
just have to get
affect
back
the
to work.
talent of the quarterback. Come on, guys.
You guys were.
You can't look at incompetence at coaching and fucking people that are calling plays be so pathetic and not think that that affects the rookie quarterback. Come on.
Going through some of these struggles.
You have a terrible head coach. I said this last year.
Yeah, Caleb's strong. He's
Come
strong
on.
inside. He's strong outside. He's a strong individual.
Fucking get it,
and
grip.
He's been through adversity.
Mike,
And he
Hall,
knows how to do this. He
stop.
knows how to get through adversity.
Don't look at the next team. The next team has a good coach.
And he's got to pull. We got to pull together with.
Always
everybody
starts
else,
with the head
too,
coach.
so it's important that we get that
Trust
done,
me.
moving forward.
I've been saying it here for years.
This locker room is still invested in believing.
Yeah, I just know the men in the room. I know the men there.
No,
I
you don't know
how they work
shit
during
because they don't
practice.
believe
I
in
know
you.
Those guys.
You all want to fucking point fingers at the quarterback, a rookie quarterback, and you're looking at terrible play calls, terrible situations, complete stubbornness to change. You're seeing it right here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you got to go all the way
Come
down
on.
to it and look at everything. I think that's.
I was
part of
told
it.
by former players,
we need a
this
spark in
guy
there.
is so
We need to
soft,
be able to
he
move the ball,
can't
in
criticize
the scoring zone to be able to score
stars.
when we get
He
there.
can't criticize big play talent.
So that's just really it.
Your assessment of the end of the first half. Okay,
He
kind of got away from you guys in the last couple of minutes. Of the first half.
Yeah, we just need to play better there on defense. We needed to play better there. They
Go
had a
to the
drive
other
on us,
network
and
and
typically
talk
they
about
really convert on third
Justin
down. They
Field
had a couple
and
chunk plays,
Caleb.
so we just got to play better
Well,
as a group.
I thought he was going to overcome
in
this.
a 2-minute
Who
drive
can
at the end,
overcome it?
we had them at
Who?
50 there, and they completed that longer pass. So again, we just got to do a better job.
Come on.
Where do you feel like
You got to
Caleb is
fire
in
this
his
fucking
development
guy.
in terms of when
That's
he gets
simple.
Like in terms of his development, where is he with that?
After 3
Well, I think
years, he's
everything's
finally
developing.
stepping to the
Everything's
podium and
developing.
saying
He's a
it's
young
on him.
quarterback. He's
No
only played
shit.
So many games in the NFL, and again, every experience is different, and he's got to
The
learn from
5
that experience and
games
exposure.
of
So,
historic
it's a
failure
developing
are
thing.
also on you
It's never
too.
going to be like this all the way through. And again, we're going through some adversity right now, but the only way to pull through that is to pull together.
Your hits
Except for last
philosophy
week,
is
the
pathetic.
offense hasn't given up more than 21 points today. Kicking game won you guys in field position about most of the game. Is it fair to look at those guys now and say you guys got to do more when they all see 3 points, 9 points, and say, hey, we're doing our
I do think it's fair because we're a football team. So if we're all part of a football team, we need to score one more point than the opponent. So when you don't do that, whatever the score is, it's all on all of us. So that's the way we look at it.
Chris, a $1 billion franchise needs to start paying for alpha coaches, guys that are real
Yeah,
head
like I
coaches,
said, we'll have to look
not
at
a guy
everything.
that's a
We're gonna
good
look at everything
coordinator
there,
that has
on
never
offense,
been a head
defense,
coach
right
on
now,
any level.
when you lose
Take
three
a
games,
fucking
it's
research
not
project.
just on offense.
Look at
It's
the
about
last
playing
hires of the
competitive football, helping
Bears.
each other out.
Except for
seize
John Fox,
opportunities,
none of them have
and
been
create
head
momentum.
coaches.
So that's what it's about.
Unless you want to call Mark Pressman Canadian League
Did you
coaching.
hear that, and how do you respond to that?
Yeah, just get back to work. I know it's part of the job. It's part of it, but you got to stand strong. You got to be the same leader that you've always been, and
So,
make the necessary
This is the kind of
adjustments that you
stuff
need
like
to make.
Adam. I appreciate it, man,
strong and
because I
courageous,
stood
feel
firm
all,
in my
look each other
truth.
in eye,
The
tell each other
biggest
truth, and that's how
scare,
I know to do it.
the biggest problem is this guy right here.
Offensive drives without a touchdown. When it's not just today,
23 offensive drives, no touchdown.
Yeah,
Let's
the same
continue
thing,
with that.
Same thing. We got to find that.
You're
look at
afraid
everything. We gotta
of
find the
removing
continuity
somebody
there.
from
We gotta
power.
Find the structure that we need, the winning formula that we need to score points.
You don't have the right offensive coordinator. You're a scumbag. Oh my God. Let's look at everything. Oh, no shit. No shit. Trouble. Hey, we got to play better. No. You have to take away the offensive coordinator. It should have happened 3 weeks ago. You care about your job. It's sad. Here comes Caleb Williams now. Let's see how he handles this.
Goes off next week today.
I'd say it first starts with me. I took I had about two or three plays and key moments of situational ball that it didn't click in my head. One was taking 2 sacks, 2 or 3 sacks in situations where we were able to get a field goal attempt, and then I put us out of field goal range, not throwing the ball out of bounds or over one of my wide receivers' heads or dirt and things like that. And then the other one, which was should have handed the ball off to Dre. Instead, I threw it to DJ. Saw the safety coming out the sky. Thought I'd get to DJ, and I know we had 2 blockers over there, and DJ could
here's something
and go run.
Coach,
for a good distance.
Offensive coordinator.
Wasn't the right decision.
You take
definitely.
This guy's holding himself
this
accountable. You take
a lot to learn from myself.
the whole thing
speaking
out of the rookie
some of the
quarterback's
situational,
hands,
things.
and you
Obviously,
call the
there's
play.
a few passes.
The
Obviously,
Shane
the game
Waldron's
situation
not an
got
alpha
back,
male either.
and
He
things
has
like
no
that, but,
plan.
I
None.
think Situationally, this
There's
game
no
was,
identity, and a rookie
was
quarterback
great learning.
can't
Learning
get
experience for me,
better
with some of these
without a
situations
confident
that I could have
plan
done better for sure.
as an
And then
offensive
other than
coordinator.
that,
There should be
I'd say we
no
just gotta get better with
situation except
execution,
2-minute drill
regardless of
that this kid is calling checks.
whether the play is good,
Jesus.
bad, indifferent, whether we have people down or anything like that. We got to go out and execute. We got to do better with that. Whether it's penalties, whether it's negative plays.
I don't think
and
Tyson
speaking on
Bagent
that
would have won
negative
this
play,
game.
like I threw to DJs. what
I
I'm
don't
talking
think
about.
Tom Brady would have won this game for the Bears.
So I think
That's
I
how
think it starts
pathetic
there, and then from
the
there,
energy, the effort, the
it's hard to stop
coaching
offenses
was
when
today,
you
Robo.
do those things.
I'm sorry.
When you talk about
Thank
things
you
not
for your
clicking in,
patience.
could some of that be like the internal clock on those first 2 sacks of just holding on to the ball too long, maybe not processing it fast enough? Is that?
No, I was went to Cole for one. I went to Cole, and that's the first read. It's only a 5-yard route, and so 5 yards doesn't take much time. And so the second read, once I saw the, I believe it was safety or nickel
Shit
fly down
throw
Cole,
to
we
DJ
had,
Moore.
Keenan,
Shit throw to
returning,
Cole.
and it's only a 5-yard route again. And so
On the out.
those don't take much time. It just so happened that somebody won on the defensive side, and
You
could
take
have
this
done better
out
with
of
the ball
it.
out of bounds in
You
that
run the
situation.
ball today.
Just knowing
Down
before the
5
snap,
linemen.
and having a better understanding of
Come
where
on.
we are. On the
Heavy
field
tight end game.
is
12 personnel all day.
before the snap, and then other than that, no, I only went through 2 reads. In that
Gerald
situation.
Everett in old ass
should've thrown the ball
Mercedes
out of bounds,
Lewis.
kick it,
That's on
kick
pole
it
too.
fine.
Caleb, I know you said
Christ.
I know you said that this all starts with you, but you've been extremely successful at every level of your career. Are your struggles merely a product of stepping up to the NFL level, or are there other things involved in this equation that's leading to some of the struggles we see from not only you but offense?
Yeah. Speaking of myself, there's things that I don't miss, things that I haven't missed, things that just timing and rhythm and things like that. I'd say
Jay Boak or Bach.
I'd say just throughout the
Let's
week.
do this math for
before
the
weeks
haters.
and things like that. Before we
Head
got to this
coach
point of the
sucks.
season,
Offensive coordinator
being better
sucks.
at being more
Offensive
detailed,
line sucks.
being
But
better at,
EJ wants Caleb to overcome
asking
it
a little bit
all.
more for the details.
That's the
Being
problem.
better at,
You're a
there's always
hypocrite.
things that you can be better at.
I don't have time for that
with it
shit.
being my rookie season,
I
and
would call
understanding
every
that,
hater out.
Definitely brings a lot of encouragement. To
Every
me.
single one. Like,
Obviously the situation.
let's
is
do
very
math, a
frustrating.
football
You wanna
math.
go out there and
This
execute.
isn't
You wanna go out there
rocket
and,
science.
help a defense that gets you
If
the
your
ball,
head coach
or
sucks,
special teams that gets you the ball,
and your
on the
offensive
50
coordinator,
or
I think
40-yard
everybody
line,
in here would agree.
4 times in this game,
It's
and it's
way
it's
overwhelmed.
tough, but to be able to
And then you add your offensive line.
and do it again.
Where's the
and again,
success
and
going to
again,
be?
if
With
it
no
provides me
identity.
learning experiences, I think
I
us
knew
as an
this. I
offense,
picked the Patriots to win, for God's sake.
Right now,
Because I knew.
in this instance, just because
1 + 1 = 2.
We're getting close to
Simple.
It starts this week, playing versus teams like Green Bay, and Detroit and Vikings and all of that. But obviously,
You
to
have
take it one
the
step at a
worst
time,
head coach in football.
But right now is right now.
No
We take
quarterback
this
is
off,
going to
we have
overcome
to
this
have
shit.
this,
None.
This little bit of time.
You
tonight
got to
and-
get the
and
right
tomorrow,
coach
and then
here.
From there, we're on to Green Bay, and
And if
we
Cole
gotta find
can't
ways to
see
do it.
that,
Simple as that.
he's got to go too.
The place they're being called, putting you in the best position to succeed. During the course of the week, how much of your input goes into?
I would go in there and totally revamp.
I would
have
say,
a fullback that's
it-
in
it-
this
it
fucking
doesn't-
roster instead of
It
putting
doesn't.
a center or a
Like
tight
obviously
end
throughout
at
the games, there's gonna
fullback.
be times where defense calls.
You actually have
um,
one
you
that's
know,
going to
maybe a
go
better
out there
blitz,
and
maybe
knock
better
some people
coverage and things
down
like that,
and start running
obviously,
power game
and you would want different
for
plays
your
in that
young quarterback.
situation.
Not this
But it comes
East-West
down to
bullshit.
execution details and things like that.
Not
when
this
you're
East-West
speaking on,
bullshit.
Better plays
Stop.
for those
Embarrassing.
situations, because the whole point of the defense, the whole point of the other team going against you, the whole point of them having other coaches and other good coaches is to be able to go out there and execute against you. And so
0 for
we have to do a
18
better job
on
starting with
Sunday
us,
road
starting with
games.
myself, at
5
situational ball, negative
epic
plays, and
losses
and things
where
like that.
the
And when
percentage
when
of
good
winning
at,
was
not
over
having negative plays, when you're good
95%
at,
in your favor.
executing when you're good
5
at,
of them.
executing situational ball.
A
it's very tough team
failure
to beat,
on every level in
regardless
critical
of what they're
situations.
calling over there, and regardless of
Mr.
what our coaches
Matt
are calling
Eberflus
on the field.
still has his job
We
and has a
communicate
GM that
do our
believes
job,
in him.
when I do my
How?
job,
How?
when we're hitting on cylinders, it's pretty tough to beat.
A bad head coach can make the best quarterbacks look bad.
Play caller. Do you think that's something you could adapt to mid-season?
Just be honest.
I mean, they're not going to reinvent the wheel. In a sense, we're mid-season, and
You're gonna have to put Thomas Brown as the
that's not a
offensive
decision
coordinator.
for me.
The new
I
head
have
coach
to,
is
do
Coach
what
Washington.
the coach says. I have to
The
do what,
OC and the
whatever
head
decision
coach
he
have been
makes,
fired.
I'm gonna have to be fine
That's
with it.
what needs to
Will I
happen
be able to
tonight
adapt? Yes, I will.
at 11
We will be
p.m.
able to adapt
East.
whatever coach make decision.
10
he
o'clock
makes.
Central.
And then from there we have to go out there and execute and win games.
Are you confident in Matt right now, and why or why not?
CNC, come on the
Am I
show.
confident in my
Fuck
head coach?
you,
Yes,
dog.
I'm confident in my head coach.
I don't care
They brought me
how
here for a
tall
reason.
I am.
They brought all of us here for a reason. As
Dad.
players, when we're in the locker room, we know how
PNC
good we
Music
are.
Factory
We know
over
how
there.
good we can be. And
Let me
right
know
now,
where
we're
your
not
show
executing,
is so
we're
I
not
can
hitting
see
on
it.
cylinders.
We'll talk then. I'll
and
bring you on
we
the
have all
show.
the confidence in each other, to be honest with you. When
You hate you hate truth.
I've been in some locker rooms, and I'm a young guy, I know, but I've also been in some locker rooms that
There should be zero
and
shots
it's pretty
that you
rough
get
in the
fired
locker room.
tonight.
Obviously, after a loss, it's pretty rough. But
Zero
having the stretch
shot.
that we've had so far, and the confidence that these guys
Gareth
have in me,
Hanswell.
the confidence that these guys have
This
in
guy- rookie's
each
up at
other,
the podium
talking
answering
about the
questions.
players. I think
Joker
that
performance.
that's
Not
a
looking
part of
forward to
coaching
Green
your
Bay
folks,
with their coaching staff
instilling that
pretty hard.
confidence and,
Yeah.
and voicing the
Exactly.
confidence of
You
us
have
coming
to
together
make
and
the-
being together. And then,
You
like I've said
have
before,
to cut loose.
obviously,
The fact that there wasn't a chant
it's okay
through the
teams,
last
there's good
8
teams, there's
minutes
great
of this
teams,
game
it starts with the players.
is disappointing on you fans.
Right
Don't
now we have an
leave.
event.
Don't walk
This is
out.
what I go by in
You
my life. We
paid.
have an event, and the most important
Get the
thing,
fucking chant going.
because you can't always control the event. The most
Get
important
the
thing is for
fucking
us to
chant
respond,
going.
and our response equals the outcome, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. So, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Chicago Bears.
Well, he said he was very forthcoming with that. There's good teams. There's great teams. We aren't great. We ain't good. Where are we then? EJ. EJ's back. EJ's going to play the victim card now. I've known EJ for a long time. It's sad that you stoop to that level, EJ. What would you want him to do, EJ? What would you want him to do? How is Caleb going to overcome a shitty coach, an even shittier, if you could believe it, even a shittier offensive coordinator, and an offensive line that's trying to surpass the offensive coordinator as being shitty? Like what world? Did Caleb play good? No. I'm not the guy that needs to be right. This isn't what it is. I just tell you what's true. In this case, both things can't be true. Ryan Poles was afraid to fire his buddy. You had the story lined up already. We talked about it after last season. We said you're going to have to get rid of Fields because he's not good, which is true. It's true. He got benched with a winning organization for a reason. It wasn't to keep a 4th-round pick. He is average to below. He's a backup quarterback that you will win a couple games with. That's it. That's who he was and is and will always be. So you went to a different level of talent at quarterback, right? You knew what you were doing, and I'm saying you knew as in Ryan Poles. So what do you do historically? You have to look at your past. You have to, even if it wasn't you calling the shots. You have to look at your past. The past errors have been drafting a quarterback with a lame duck coach. That's what you did. And the Bears GM and coach, I'll tell you this true, Kevin Warren wanted Eberflus gone right after the season. True story. Ryan Poles fought for his guy. He believed in Eberflus. So that's a feather in the cap of Kevin Warren. He wanted him gone. He believed that he wasn't the head coach, but your GM believed in him. Going on the air. He also went on the air and said he's the most excited about this offensive line, how great they are, how much depth they have, right? You've heard these things. He's disappeared in the chaos of complete and utter failure that has been the Bears since the Jags game. He's disappeared, right? Your GM. Okay, so you decide that you're going to stay with the guy. You're not looking at what you've done in the past with John Fox and Matt Nagy aligned with the quarterback moving forward. You decided to go down that same path. Mistake number 1. We know this. We fought for it. We said this guy's a shoe salesman before the season. You worry about the coach. I said, what are they going to win? I don't know, 9 or 10. They have enough talent to win 10. Maybe they could win 9, but I worry about the head coach because he's not good. This is on this show. Every fucking fan worth their grain of salt in truth knows that I've said this. Every fucking guy. You saw Adam come on here. Phil was right again. I didn't want to believe. But yes, I was right because I know coaching. I know football. That's my one talent. So I'm going to my highest talent. I'll take it to the extreme. I'll call you out. I'm not afraid to use your name. I will call you out. Can't play both sides of the fence. So you go with this guy, right? And you think that the offensive coordinator hire is going to be the difference. The difference, because you fired Luke Getsy. Rightfully so. He sucked too. He never was a coordinator. So you interview these guys, and I'm telling you right now, mistake number 2 is allowing Matt Eberflus to say, I don't want Cliff Kingsbury. I don't want to hire him. Because they were afraid, Matt's group with Trace Armstrong were afraid that Cliff Kingsbury could be his replacement. Straight from the horse's mouth. I've heard this. I could just tell you. That's what they're afraid of. So, lack of an alpha coach hires a lack of an alpha offensive coordinator. Do you see Waldron on the sideline? He's marking up his fucking chart. No one's paying attention to the guy, and he's calling plays for the Chicago Bears, and you want this kid to be successful. Meanwhile, every fucking person worth the grain of salt in football knows that Matt Eberflus is a lame duck coach going into the season. Like every person I know, and I don't need to name names, every single one, he's not a good head coach. But he's here. He's here. So you mistake one, mistake two, and you take a step forward because you're getting a better quarterback. Then you take steps back. And now you're in this situation. What was the game plan today, coach? He has no clue. This was a team that had a meeting. How many meetings are you going to have? They had a meeting about 15 play calls being had before the third game of the year. They had a meeting, a team meeting about it. Oh, Chris R, $4.99. In the time it took to write this, Caleb was sacked again. They coached the fire out of him. Fire everyone. Yeah, you saw it. I mean, at what point do you feel bad for a guy that's dealing with this kind of pathetic? I don't know other sports in Chicago like some of these guys do. I know the Bears. Okay? I know the Bears. And I'll say this. The Chicago Bears have been an organization that has been afraid to hire the alpha. Bruce Arians. We can go down the list. Dan Quinn, interview for the job when Matt Eber, he didn't get the job. Even though he should have been getting that job based on the competition in that interview process. He didn't get the job because they were afraid of his personality. True story, straight from the guy. If you can't be accountable, you can't control the narrative, then you have the wrong ownership making the shots. We talked about this. Look at the hiring. Matt Eberflus was kind of hired before the GM was hired. Like, are you seeing that? The Bermuda Triangle of fucking coaching goes on in Chicago. Hold on. Let's get Ernie Accorsi in here. He can help us. He'll help us. Hold on. Let's get our leadership group. Some old crusty guys together. The good old boy network. And we'll hire the next head coach. And as long as he goes to church with Virginia, like Dick Duran did, and Dave Wanstead, not going to ruffle any feathers, not going to hurt any player's feelings, not going to call somebody a motherfucker on the sideline, then we're okay. Hey, let's call our friend over there. What do you think of Ben Johnson? Is he a good coach? This is what we're dealing with. He really could call a good game. It doesn't make him a coach, a head coach. You got to command the locker room. You have to demand an identity. And you got to hold everybody to the same standard as the final guy on the practice squad. Nobody fucking crosses that line. Nobody. That's how you got to coach. Unacceptable. We're making a big political thing of it. I'll bench a guy, let everybody fucking know. It's not okay. It took him 3 years and how many weeks to come out and say, that's on me. I'm accountable. It was pathetic. Didn't even use the word pathetic, but it took him 3 years. What's this fucker's record? Give me that. This is crazy because I didn't hear it. Cygnus X1, $4.99. Pohl said before the game that he is proud of this coaching staff for how they are dealing with all the injuries on the O-line. Are you fucking kidding me? You're proud of them dealing with your failures. That's great. That's what that means. No, this is the NFL. I'm proud of how you're dealing with all the adversity of my shitty decisions on the O-line. I'm so very proud of you. You know when you say that? When they fucking win. That's when you say that. Because then you know they're coaching. This team isn't improving. It's regressing. It's regressing. It's a reflection of the head coach. Who needs a link to come on and say anything different? Blame Caleb. Benjamin Hooper, $1.99. Totally respect the Saints ownership. Why? Because they saw the problem. They saw the leak. They didn't fix the boiler behind the scenes. They fixed the fucking leak. In Chicago, the white collar, blue collar, whatever the fuck collar you want to wear. At the end of the day, you're going to fix the fucking leaks. Right now, you got a shoe salesman as a head coach. You need to fix the fucking leak. The leak is the OC and the head coach. Those are the only leaks you can fix right now. All right? The ship is fucking sinking. You're way underwater. You're taking on water like nobody. Got to do it now. The GM and all of that shit can wait. The coach is the problem. So is the offensive coordinator. You've heard me talk about the offensive line coach. Are they good? No. Chris Morgan is the worst offensive line coach in the NFL. It's not even funny. We watch, are you a patron? Right there, thetapeneverlies.com. Become one, and I'll show you fundamental communication and breakdowns each and every fucking play. This was the first time in the history that I've ever done a live show this week on Patreon and stopped the tape because it was that pathetic last week. It was that pathetic last week. I stopped. I couldn't watch it anymore. Imagine. But wait, hold my beer. Let's watch this week. It's worse. Worse. You got to be maniacal. Okay, we got to make these moving parts. I know I got to put my journeyman right guard at right tackle. So we got to go into 12 personnel. We're going to have to fucking really protect the edges and attack downfield. Your whole game plan is around protecting the quarterback. We're not in this for fantasy fucking stats and victories in the headlines. That's the problem. Peyton Johnson, $5. Another Eberlus classic. My dad keeps telling me this is just like watching the Bears in the 70s, but not having a safety blanket of Walter Payton. It's exactly right. Sure, Peyton, you probably were named after Walter, which is a great thing. But you're 100% right. See, this stuff right here, guys, this is the problem I'm talking about. This is an instigatory shot, EJ, that's so immature and childish. It doesn't take any football acumen or any kind of understanding to recognize that you are soft for doing this. And it's an embarrassment to any Bears fan that's going to point out all of the chaos that is going on in regards to this organization and the coaching staff and say, I thought Caleb was good enough to overcome this, sarcastically. You're not a fan. You're not a fan. It's sad. It crushes my heart when you see people that you are friendly with be so pathetic. Like, save that shit for your bathroom by yourself. Holster your fingertips on that kind of dumb shit. Say it in your brain, because in 24 hours, you'll realize that is the dumbest shit I've ever put out in the universe. Nobody can overcome this shit. Nobody. You gotta have a fucking strong relationship with the head coach. It's like the biggest key to football success is the head coach and the quarterback relationship. What is the relationship with Matt Eberflus? It's a lie. Nobody in that locker room respects him. I've talked to players that were there 2 years ago. Then this year, it's the same story. But the Bears keep it. So you want to point the finger, put it on the McCaskies and Ryan Poles. Because you're always a year late. Doesn't matter how many X's and O's you're drawing up. Last week, we're not watching effort out there from the receivers. They're lazy. They're not helping. They're not running their routes. They're not blocking. At the end of the day, it comes down to blocking and tackling, catching and dropping the football. They're not doing it. Oh, man, Phil, you can overcome it too. No, can't. Go Chicago Bears, $5. How do we not hold Poles accountable for all this? He defends his hiring of Flus, never fixed the O-line, and he is an ex-lineman. I'm not. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I'm with you. I can't see you, Facebook user. So you'll have to go to StreamYard.com and accept that. I don't think anybody can make a jackass better. I'm sorry. If you sitting there thinking one player is going to overcome this kind of epic failure, you just can't. Are you watching the same game? Like in this situation, like when the going gets the toughest, you find out in the face of adversity who somebody is. I know, Ichito. That's I call it out. I just call it out for the truth. You know, I will. And I like EJ. But completely Fields fanatics, I'm sorry, you're not cooking with the same gas. It's the same shit because of the same coach and the same lack of production and effort. It's unfortunate you're going to run with that kind of narrative. That's it. You got to have a fucking coach that is going to take the blame like he did 3 years. Where's Anthony or my guy, Adam Jenkins or coach? I need somebody that has numbers. How many games and how many days on the job is Matt Eberflus? To today. That's how long it's taken your NFL head coach to stand at the podium, listen to TTNL, and take accountability, because that team is a reflection of you. It's unfortunate. I'm with you, Funkster. I know who Caleb is. I'm not worried about that. I worried about the head coach and the OC, and I'm right about that. You have the wrong people. I'm sorry. You have the wrong people. I don't know, Jay Jones. What am I talking about Fields? What is Fields doing on the bench in Pittsburgh? What has he done? What is he doing for the Bears? I showed you with tape the reality of Justin. Justin behind that line with this OC would probably be injured running for his life because there was just no kind of, and it doesn't even fucking matter. It's sad. Just let Justin go. Just don't come in here with that hypocritical, unbelievable expectation that somebody is going to overcome this kind of chaos. It's like giving your kid who doesn't have his license the keys to the Maserati. Here, I know you got your learner's permit. Here's the Maserati. It's dumb. Go Chicago Bears, $5. How do we hold Poles accountable for all this? He defends his hiring of Flus and never fixed the O-line, and he is an... Oh, I already read that one. My bad. But you're 100%. They got to have him on the show. You got to put it in the newspaper. You got to headline that shit. Fans got to be at the game chanting, fire Flus. Fans don't pay for the ticket. What's frustrating too is I have no faith we will hire an alpha coach. They want a coach that doesn't have a backbone. $4.99, Mohammed Elmi. That's a problem. That's a problem. An alpha coach has to be hired. That's simple. And you got to keep saying it. Vrabel's on the list. Yes. He's got to be in the conversation. Former player, good head coach, holds people accountable, stands at the podium, understands the team is a reflection of him. That's what you need. Can't wait 3 years and an epic failure of loss. Just think, if the Bears had won the Washington game, would they be this way? No. Sometimes God intervenes and pulls back the curtain because a real head coach had an opportunity to say, I never would do giving my backup center the ball again there. A real head coach would own it then, right? That's the difference, guys. Pay attention. But oh, wait, there's more. A real head coach would absolutely wish, man, I should have fucking called timeout there at the end. I saw him jabbing with the fans. I should have fucking done something different and been the leader of this team, calmed them down, and won this game. For our fans, for me, for this team. That's what would you do? Would you have called the timeout again, coach, if you had to do it over? No. We had it. We were under. You had it? You had it? Your players completely being lambasted for fucking on your watch. Let's look at this. Honestly. You had 2 weeks off on a bye and you come out and play the way you did last week, then come back and play like this. Come on, to the pathetic Patriots. 3rd and 15. Here comes the deep end to Hunter Henry. Hooper. Yeah. EGSC Films 49. We cannot go through this again and ruin another QB. There's only one solution now. Call the Rams and give them whatever it takes to get McVay. Not a bad plan. Should have done it with Harbaugh. There is no cap on spending money for a coach. Unfortunately, the Bears have spent money on coaches like just been cheap. They're not going after the big time coach. They've not hired the guy that makes you uncomfortable. They had the coach of the fucking year in the NFL in Bruce Arians, and they didn't hire him. And we've had like 5 people come on the show and tell stories verbatim from Bruce thinking he got the job, only to not get the job because he wasn't the right fit. He's too alpha. He's too accountable. He doesn't want to work with certain players. James Yamarillo, $1.99. Worst team in the NFL. Caleb Shook. Today he was, man. I mean, what are you going to do? Let's run dash pass and to the sideline with no one running a route that way. I mean, at what? You look into the sky and like, am I really running this? Am I really running this? If I squint, it's Olin Kreutz, but it's Ethan Kautz. $5. It's the same message every week. If you didn't know the score, I feel you wouldn't know if they won or lost. Well, today, honestly, was a little different. Stepped to the podium, and he took accountability. Because guess what? I'm not even going to give him an award or a pat on the back. Should have been doing that since day one, jackass. No, he's taking the EJ route. Let's blame everybody else. Let's list off all the positives. We punted really well today. We kicked a good field goal. No accountability. Gary Caticon, $2. Fire the O-line run game coordinator in a trash can. I've been saying this since. You do not hire an OC and arrange a marriage with the offensive line coach, with the OC. It's just on a level of stupidity, it's hard to peel back the layers of the stupidity of what the Bears are doing. To keep Eberflus is a close, it's right there. This is keeping Eberflus. This is keeping Chris Morgan with a new OC. It's like that close to stupid. Nobody thinks Chris Morgan is a good offensive line coach except Matt Eberflus and the Bears. Trust me on that. He won't even have a fucking job unless one of his good old boy buddies hires him. He's that bad. He's pathetic. Robert Nash, 4-9. I can't believe I woke up at 2 a.m. and flew out for this crap. But the positive out of this was meeting everyone at the tailgate. TTNL for life. Robert, I'm so happy you went out there, got to meet them. I'm not sorry for being there and putting money on the table for this culture, this franchise. I would not have a voice because I would have been fucking chanting the whole fucking thing. Fire Flus. Fire fucking Flus. Fire Flus. Just the whole fourth quarter. Over and over and over and over again. Fire Flus. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. 9 sacks. 9 sacks. Coach Dre, it's been 1,018 days of Coach Matt Eberflus. Pretty sad. 29 sacks this season, says Alicia B. Thank you, Alicia B, with some stats. Sad. Oh, it's so hard to watch. EJ, we'll bring you on the show and you can come talk to us on a real show and manipulate narratives. You see the Bears winning 2 more games? No. Johnny Flores, $1.99. I don't see them winning unless they fire the coach. It has to happen tonight. Will Warren clean house or is he just a puppet too? Jason S, $1.99. Will Warren clean house or is he just a puppet too? This is the deciding factor. Tell you right now, you ain't getting a stadium with this guy. We all knew it. You got to have some celebrity, some intangible understanding of what a football coach is. There's high school coaches in Illinois that are way better communicators, teachers of this game than Matt Eberflus. It's not even fucking close. I can probably, and I don't know Illinois high school football, but I probably guess there's at least 50 more qualified head football coaches in high school in Illinois than Matt Eberflus. But yet you continued to roll with his circus safari culture. You rolled with it. That can't go unnoticed. Kevin Warren has to recognize that. Benjamin Hooper, $9.99. Why can't we get an OC that runs the 80s? 49ers, Westcom, Montana, the gun, ran the ball heavy. It's not rocket science. Well, that's got to be a part of the offensive philosophy of what you're going to preach. Every offense now has some sort of history in the West Coast scheme. However, this spread game, bubble screen stuff that they continue to run is a travesty because you don't have the right personnel to run it. You just don't. Your offensive line is not there yet, and you have to have a power running back that is going to able to control or make people think of the line of scrimmage. There he is, Shane. Shane Marsaw.
Yeah,
back at the
leaving the. It's fitting that you leave the DDP rant banner up for this entire show.
I don't have a producer changing the back.
I know.
I have been ranting. I've been dealing with EJ, Shane. It's all Caleb's fault.
Oh, well, yeah, EJ can believe whatever he wants. It's fine. Caleb hasn't played well. That's fine. He's not at anywhere near the top of my worries list. And we know where that starts, and I push it up another level because if Flus is back, I mean it's over before anything began. Well, it is what it is, man.
He's got to be fired tonight, Shane.
Oh, I agree. And him coming out and saying that he's taking accountability and all of that.
1,028 days it took him.
Everything is on the table. The Bears have won 24 consecutive series 25 consecutive series now without scoring a touchdown.
25 consecutive series without 29 sacks. 9 sacks in this game. Why did you make me a fan of this team, Phil? $2. Gary Cadigan. I don't know you, Gary. Do I? Did I make you a fan?
But Phil, it's like I said, I know watching it on TV is frustrating. We walked out of our seats there towards the end and just went down, me and Sean Stewart and Riley and Cherie and Cars, and they got some food.
It's breaking up. You're breaking up on me. You got some food, I think you were saying.
Here, let me bounce back in.
Bounce back in. I'll hit some more of the super chats, and I appreciate you. Throw in the super chats. Throw into the super chats and embrace what it is that you have to say. Let me know where you are with the Chicago Bears after what you saw. Is Caleb to blame? Is Caleb the problem? Jaden Daniels would fix this? Be honest. Look in the mirror. Ask yourself this. I've laid it out to you, as Shane has pointed out, for an hour and 24 minutes. About to be 24 minutes and 5 seconds. An hour and 24 minutes of the errors. And there's still more. There's still more when you peel back the onion. I swear these butthurt Justin sexuals really believe Fields would have had a better year than Caleb here. Got guys in the comments claiming karma. See, that's the problem. Exactly, Nicholas Vincent's. You got guys like taking a parade, a victory lap. You're supposed to be a Bears fan, last I checked. You want them to be successful, but yet you can't see that the plumber that came to fix the pipes is clinging on to the boiler. That isn't a problem.
People like that, Phil, wanted Caleb Williams to fail no matter what. They'll never admit it. I don't know why this keeps on switching on me, but
Keeps doing it.
Yeah, it's doing it by itself. They wanted him to fail no matter what. And they get their get out of jail free card because if he did well, it's like, oh yeah, team Caleb all the way. And if there's struggles, they were always going to put it on Caleb, and it's fine.
I agree. That's the problem with certain fans that don't understand football. For me, it's not about being right. It's about being truthful.
Right.
I know what Caleb is bringing to the table that you didn't have with Justin Fields. I knew that the Chicago Bears, you knew, we knew, we fought. Like, you got to fire this fucking guy. When Black Monday came around, they kept him. It was a painful day for you and me. It was a gut punch, a ball punch to us because we knew that they were going to move on and get Caleb and match him up with a fucking, it's like putting a kid in foster care with a foster parent, you know, that's fucking just collecting a check.
Yep.
That's what it is.
No, you're 100% right, man. And this one is different, Phil, because there was barely a pulse in the stadium throughout. It's just, like I said, there was more cheers and excitement for the halftime show than we saw all day. And it's just the way that it is. And people are expecting the worst but you just see it. You see the way that these guys warm up. You see their interactions. I don't know if you saw the picture of Shane Waldron sitting next to Caleb Williams, and then
he's looking at his own play. We're seeing it
a few seconds later, they're sitting about 10 feet apart, and it's the beginning of the end. We'll call it what it is. And who gives a shit about people doing their victory laps? Like I said, those people were going to try to do victory laps no matter what, and fuck them all. I don't give a shit if you're a patron, if you're a subscriber to TTNL Network. It's not what we do. It's not what we'll ever do. And let's call a spade a spade. You wanted the situation to play out because you're a Justin Fields fan. You're just not man or woman enough to admit it the entire way because you don't want to put your balls on the line like we did here. And still, does Caleb have to get better? 100%. Is he playing well when he does have time? No. Like the one right in the beginning of the game, he sat there and everybody in unison's like, throw the ball. He had Keenan Allen wide open. He didn't, and he got sacked. It was over, and it just progressively got worse from there. You got a little bit of momentum, TJ Edwards interception, and then it was a snowball rolling downhill after that.
100%. I mean, I've been in this to do what's right for the Chicago Bears. I've started doing this way back when.
Let me say this. What is EJ in the chat?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so EJ, you literally said Caleb could overcome this. Think about how fucking foolish you sound. You're talking about this in 9 games. So EJ, it's a bullshit comment, and I know you want to be smarmy about it, and that's fine, bro. I know you're a Bears fan, but this is your victory lap. You just admitted, EJ, you gave a rookie with a shitty coach and with nothing in front of him in terms of the offensive line, you gave him 9 games. And by the way, Justin's a backup in year 4 heading into free agency. So we can play the game too. It's stupid. It's stupid.
He's going to
Where was
backpedal.
EJ in the comments after the London game? Where were you, EJ? Where were you? You weren't there. So stop your bullshit. It's weak. It's weak. And I like EJ. It's just it's the condescending bullshit that just makes me laugh. Oh,
he's blaming it on we said that, Shane.
Yeah, we said.
Phil, you guys said
that's why EJ quit our Patreon. Right? EJ? That's why
I don't think any of us said any quarterback can overcome where we are now under Eberflus. That's all.
We said putting words in his mouth. He's a more progressed passer than Justin Fields. 100%. Still true. He is. But that's fine, man. I don't give two shits who you believe in and who you want. Oh, Justin will figure it out in year 5. You just wait for year 6. Year 7's going to be better. Go pull up some tweets when Justin got traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Go pull up EJ's tweets and we'll see if he said he was going to get some quality coaching now and the kid's going to take flight. I have no idea if that's there, but I'm betting that it is. That's fine. Fan the way you want to fan. It's fine. EJ didn't come around after the London game or the game before that, but he comes around now to take his victory lap. Bravo, EJ. I still have your DM about our Patreon too, EJ. So there you go. Thanks.
Bears organization is terrible, period, says Cachet. Get Cachet on the show. EJ is running his mouth in the chat like I've never seen anybody. Backpedaling like Deion Sanders in his
blowing
prime.
A gasket. I've been here having fun with my friends in Chicago all week. I'm not blowing a gasket.
How is he blowing a gasket, Juju?
Right. Maybe Juju's blowing something else. Oh, is that out of line? I'm sorry.
EJ would have us trading down until we massed 37th round picks. And then we'd get the haul. We get the haul. I wanted the haul. Who's the haul? Who's the haul? The haul of mess. You would just add more mess onto it. The most important thing is to get the quarterback right. They did that. He's the last thing I'm worrying about on this fucking team. What I'm worried about is the guys coaching him. The O-line coach, which, by the way, EJ, I've said for 3 years. I told you that Eberflus was a trash can his first year, right at the end of the year. This is not the right guy.
We wanted him moved because of Justin.
We wanted him moved because of Justin. But he wasn't the right guy. He's not the coach. But they kept him. Then they kept him again. And then when you had a chance, because you have the first overall pick and you did the right thing, you traded an average quarterback for a fucking 7th round pick. You traded him out of here and you have the first overall pick and you get a qualified passer. You do another epic failure, the same thing you do historically. You continue with the wrong head coach, which, by the way, you even do worse because you marry him with an offensive coordinator who's softer than puppy shit. And hold my beer. Let's marry him with the offensive line coach, run game coordinator who's worse than he is an offensive coordinator. It's the worst thing.
And that's the best thing, Phil, too, is about the people that want to preach the hall. That was the actual name that they put to the people. Oh, just get the hall. Yeah. They never connected any names to it, ever. Just get the hall. That'll fix everything. Nobody ever connects a name to it because they don't want to tie their names to it. It's just like all of the Bears fans out there that said, if we stay with Justin, I'm fine with it. If we stay with Caleb, I'm fine with it. I'm sure that's probably what EJ said. Then if that's the truth, why are you in here complaining about it then, EJ? Right? If you were 100% or 1,000% on board with Caleb, why are you complaining about it now? Because we said that we believed in him. Right?
Correct.
Just trying to be right. You gave the kid 9 games. That seems like a great
9 games with the most incompetent coaching staff maybe in Chicago Bear history. I'm not even hyping that up. You have progressively gotten worse. Like, think about that. Now, I know you're out Nate Davis, Darnell Wright, your left tackle Braxton Jones, your 3rd round pick Karan Amagaji, and then Tevin Jenkins does Tevin Jenkins. He gets injured. So now you're down 5 of your starting offensive linemen. Oh, by the way, you don't even get credit because you believed in Nate Davis.
Right.
You're the one who signed him, Ryan Poles.
Does everybody realize that I was at the fucking game today? So the
Guys,
strain
he's
in my
screaming.
voice has nothing to do with EJ in the fucking comments, guys. I mean, holy shit. I've been in Chicago since Friday night with my son, enjoying everything, meeting tons of people that I haven't
TTNL
seen.
fans.
Yeah, so my strain has 0.0% to do with
The
EJ
chat.
comments or anybody else. Some people are saying that I have a list. Maybe it's because I've had about 4.5 hours of sleep the last 2 nights, but it's cool. It's fine.
No, you're just explaining the prerequisite. I've been there 3 times to Chicago, twice.
Yeah, if anybody wants to know if we
TTNL.
had fun last night, ask Phil about the phone call, about the FaceTime.
You looked like you guys were all having a blast, and me and Steph looked like grandparents just waving because you guys couldn't hear us. Anything we said to you guys, we're like, can they hear us? No, we heard everything you guys said on that FaceTime, but you couldn't hear anything we said, could you?
No, not at all. We were everybody was laughing. We were like, yeah, we have no idea what they said, but we're just gonna smile and
we were just waving to you guys. Here's Jose Torres, hey, and we're just waving. Here's Kerry Franklin.
And by the way, Jose Torres, shout out to that guy. Everybody was leaving. What was the name of the place? Riley, what was the name of that place where we went last night? Well, anyways, the place that was
Crossroads Bar.
Yeah, I said to Kerry Franklin, he's like, hey, Shane, I'm leaving. I'm like, hey, can I grab a ride with you? And he's like, I didn't drive here. He's like, but I'll get you an Uber. And I said, oh, I'll get my own Uber. That's fine. And then Jose Torres like, I'll drive you back. I'll drive you back. So then.
Did you get in the car with Jose after?
Oh, I sure did. Him and Hans. Yeah, I didn't know where the fuck we were gonna end up. Riley and I were in the back hugging and just hoping for the best. No, he got us. He got us here. He got us here safe.
You finally got to meet Cars after 28 years. What was that like?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was great. Him and Steph and the girls showed up. Got to spend some quality time with Barb Graham.
Barb Graham. I thought you spent a lot of time with her.
Well, that was after. Yeah, but that's for the after show.
That's for keeping it 100.
Yeah.
And you finally got to meet Jim Larison, right?
Yeah, Jim and Jen. They were awesome. And Austin Reed sat with us the whole game. Bears backup quarterback.
I saw him on the sidelines talking to Caleb at one point. Then he went up to his seat with you.
Yeah, he was right there with us. Was wearing his game day jersey and everything. So that was
nice.
That was awesome. No, we sat with Michael Feldner, who won the ticket, and Sean Stewart was there with us. Shree and Jim and Jen and Austin. Mr. Reed were behind us, and I was sitting next to Ivan and Riley and
got to meet Ivan Vargas. Finally.
Oh yeah, I spent a lot of time.
Got a lot of stories with about Mr. Vargas for keeping it 100.
Had to make Mr. Vargas aware after the game that on his X app on his phone, he was logged into TTNL and he was tweeting out a bunch of stuff that I had to
delete.
Smack him over the head with. I'm like, yeah, bro, you're on our account. And he's like, what? I thought I was on mine. I'm like, yeah, no, you weren't. So, so I had to delete a bunch of shit. So we
thank God you were there. Our producer's supposed to be on top of this, Ivan. What the fuck is going on out there?
Yeah, I'm not sure Ivan can spell his name right now. We've been having a good time, but yeah, I know. I won't bore you guys with the details right now. I know everybody's still fired up from the game, but yeah, we're heading out tomorrow, flying back to New York. And I'm not pissed off at anybody. I'm not pissed off at EJ. Everybody, we're all in bad moods because end of the day, we're all Bears fans. We want what's best for them. And right now, listen, Caleb Williams isn't going anywhere, nor should he. But if Ryan Poles can't recognize the situation, then Ryan Poles has to go too. 100%. And that's the way that it is. I don't think that they're going to launch Ryan Poles. Matt Eberflus, 100% needs to go. The team does not believe in him. I don't want to hear about the culture that you've built. I saw the culture out there. Tevin Jenkins hurt his ankle, and I mean, it was crazy watching that live. He looked like a sniper shot him. from the top of Soldier Field. I'm like, what the fuck just happened to that dude? And then they went to commercial, and he was rolling around on the field, and then he got up, and then he went back down. And I'm like, oh, God. So to me, you're going to see Darnell Wright, and then everybody to the left of him is replaced in 2025. And they're going to have to bring in a new coaching staff and start there. And here we are once again, the Chicago Bears doing the same thing over and over and over again. They did it with Rex. Jay Cutler when he got here, Mitch, Justin, and now Caleb Williams. They're doing it over and over again, and the results are the same because they're inept as an organization. They do everything backwards. Arranged marriage offensive line coach with the OC, hiring a general manager before you hire a team president, didn't want to link up the quarterback and the head coach. It's Chicago Bears football. It's what it is.
It's a circus safari showcase of football acumen on every level. And if you allow Trace Armstrong to string along the Christmas lights, you're about to get a Halloween trick or treat. That's how fucking stupid it's almost like insider trading. You're going to get caught up. And when you have the wrong guy stringing it along, you get these situations where you're matched up with people that aren't in the best interest of the fucking franchise. It's what it is. And that's where you are. It's Matt Eberflus, Ryan Poles, Shane Waldron sitting over there by himself, drawing up shit, laughing. Caleb Williams rolling his eye.
Bill, what did you think when the Bears actually got a positive play and then they come out? I think it was on second down, and it was right before half.
They went into gun.
They went into gun and then ran a delay.
Yeah,
and got stuffed with no timeouts left. Yeah,
it was actually on first down. They got a first down, and then they ran delayed draw right after it. They had a good run play, or pass play. I can't remember the play before it. It was like some rhythm, and they ran delayed draw, and Coleman Shelton falls to the ground, can't reach block. Oh, I lost this thing. You know me well enough. I'm like,
oh no, listen.
You run that play on second down after you fucking throw.
Yeah, I misspoke when I said that. That's what I was kind of implying. But yeah, anyway, but for you to do it there under the situation, the circumstances, it just. And again, Phil, you watched the game live, but just seeing it from the vantage point where we were at, with a rookie quarterback, New England is attacking the middle of the field on slants, hitting their tight ends, and everything with the Bears. And the funny part about it is, with everything being to the outside, your wide receivers and your tight ends aren't getting separation anyway. Somebody said that they were actually talking about that on the live broadcast, which obviously I didn't hear, but they're not getting any separation anyway. So you're giving yourself an extra defender because of it. All the plays are on the sideline.
100%.
You got the
I said it in my rant.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just makes no sense. You extended DJ. You trade for Keenan Allen. Cole has his extension. You signed Gerald Everett, who has been a useless signing. We talked about that. And you're worse on offense. You want to blame it on the quarterback? Then I don't think you know much about football. I really don't. Caleb needs to improve. Totally agree. There's other massive issues that are directly in front of him where this all starts. Justin dealt with it. Mitch dealt with it. All these guys did. It's time for the Bears to look at the fucking offensive line and take it serious. And to this point, they have not.
They continue to fail on every level. You look at it from the top down. I think today, I'm actually very proud of this show. I'm having to man it by myself, but I felt like I wanted the rant to be in the vein of the game, but it ultimately, the game is a concoction and a big recipe of what is happening up top, of Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, and making these choices and continuing with things that you know are wrong. And That's where they are, and the product on the field is going to suffer. And I'm sorry, I'm with Shane 100%. Just watching it, I have at least 5 texts from different coaches that I fucking like would suit up and run through a brick wall with. All of them are saying,
go search up Nick Moriano with his conversation with Isaiah Bolden from the Patriots. Go search that up. It's going to be all over X.
Oh, really? What did
they
he
asked
say?
about the game planning for Chicago. And he goes, yeah, our coaches all did a great job this week picking up all of the tendencies
They
that the
knew
Chicago
everything.
Bears have. They knew it all.
They knew
He
it
said
once
that
you
in the
went
locker
into.
room.
You
And if
can't go to the line like they're going, Shane. I said it. If you're allowing Caleb to call a check or whatever, no, you have to be the alpha, and he's a rookie. This is what we're running. 888 cross shallow, whatever it is your play call is. And we're running that play. He's not going to be successful with the offensive line you put in front of him and changing it if guys are not putting out massive effort. They're just not. There's so much wrong there. But every coach that I was saying to a man is saying, bro, this quarterback has no chance with this coach. How is this guy a head coach?
Imagine coming out of a game where he was set, was it 9 or 10 times?
9 times. 9 times.
And blaming it on the quarterback. Yeah, the first one was on Caleb. I get it. That happens.
Here's a coach from a top 10 college football team. Phil, I'm sorry. This coach that you have in Chicago couldn't coach on our staff or any staff in our league. But yet he has a head job. He's a laugh. How could you do that to that quarterback? This is a guy that's going in the championship series, in the playoffs, texting me on a Sunday, watching the Bears and saying how pathetic their head coach and the offensive coordinator. Shane, you lived it there. You were talking about the sidelines. Obviously, there's things you could see at a game that you can't see, and vice versa on the TV.
Phil, imagine being Riley. This is my son's first game in his life in Soldier Field. He's seen the Bears play before. First time in Soldier Field. And the third quarter, he's like, this is horrible. I feel like taking a nap.
Oh, my God.
That's how crazy it was. And I mean, this is a kid that loves sports and does it every day, but that tells you everything.
Tate said to me, he's like, Dad, thank God we didn't go to this game.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I go, oh, my God.
Would have been the perfect weekend without the game.
Oh, my God. It would have been a great weekend. You got to see Greg Braggs, Jenny Braggs. There's a Lawrence Crispin.
Yeah.
Our guy, he was there.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Lenny.
Lenny.
Showed up. Yeah. And
Lenny.
I can't remember his name. The one guy, we were at the bar. It was Angel, right? It was not his name. Aaron. Okay, his name is Aaron. I'm sorry.
Aaron.
So he was just kind of hanging out in the back, and I'm like, I feel like I should know this dude. And then probably about an hour later, he walked up. He's like, bro, I fucking love you guys. I love TTNL. And then introduced himself. And
he was shy. He was waiting for the hall.
Yeah, he was, great dude. And I said, told him make sure to come to the tailgate. He wasn't sure if he could make it, but he ended up showing up at the tailgate too.
Awesome.
So, yeah, Big Steve and his buddy, they showed
Big
up
Steve
to the tailgate. Had a lot of fun. Talked to Carm and Adam Hogue for a while from CHGO, and it was cool. We had a great time. Talked to a lot of people. Everybody was asking where DDP was. Even the guy from Fox 32 said, "Where's the miserable short guy?"
Did he say that?
Yeah. He goes, yeah, Shane, you Shane from TTNL? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, where's the miserable short guy? Not gonna lie, I was laughing my ass off.
I'm laughing too, because I am I am short. I don't know about miserable.
I think he was referring. He watches all of our BHL episodes, and he said he's like, man, he goes sometimes he's like, I'll be watching it. My wife is like, why is he yelling so much? He's like, he's a Bears fan, so yeah, he gets it. He knows it.
He's a good dude. I've been wanting him to come on the show. Don Wanderley, $5. Do you really trust Poles to hire the next head coach? Even worse, will we have to suffer through another 8 games of Flus? There's no way I can answer, will we have to suffer? I will say there's no way you can continue with this head coach. Now, will they do it? I can't
won't
put
mind
anything
me sharing
past
this. So if you're a Gregory Braggs fan, Gregory Braggs doubled and tripled and quadrupled down this morning.
Yeah.
As we arrived to the tailgate at a crispy 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
My son was.
That's 3 a.m. your time.
Yeah, extremely excited about that. No, we're an hour behind here. What I am in New York, so it would have been.
So it was 5 a.m. My bad.
But
can't do geography.
Greg said if the Bears got smashed, he has full confidence that they're gonna fire Flus, which I don't think they're going to, but that'll give you some hope right there that Greg said that.
I don't think you can. Dave Kaplan writes me, hey, Phil, I'm fucking recording a recap right now. You and Shane are gonna love it. I love Cap. I think Cap will have an interview with, hopefully, maybe he won't. He'll have an interview with the new head coach tomorrow morning because they would fire. I believe you have to fire Eberflus tonight by 11 p.m. their time, 10 p.m.
I told Cars disagreed with me. We were talking, right there, him and Sean and Mike and Sheree. We were talking as the game was winding down because people just started funneling out of this.
They showed a shot of everyone going out to the stadium. I was hoping the Patriots coach would do the thumbs down.
Yeah, but I said if I was Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus wouldn't even be doing the post-game presser. He would make it that far. And Cars is like, well, if I was the GM, he would be, and then I would fire him immediately after because I want him to answer.
For the first time, Shane, he went to the podium and said, we didn't play well. That's on me.
You go into self-preservation mode. That is a direct shot at Shane Waldron. So Shane Waldron is probably going to get fired because that's the next step. And, it's not on me. We're going to fire Shane Waldron. We got Caleb, the quarterback that we wanted. We wanted him number 1 overall, and we did such a great job. We had to fire the OC that we wanted to take this kid forward. We had to fire him after 9 games.
You always CYA with Coach Eberflus. Same with Nagy. Same with Mark Trestman. The Bears can't be hiding in solitary confinement and thinking that how they run the organization is actually helping them hire their next coach, because they think that there's some pride in continuing a junky fucking car, putting it on the road and making it run. They think there's some pride in that, whereas other coaches want the competition to be great. And they would understand if they couldn't do the job well enough, then what comes with that? A firing. So don't go on with your hi-hat, whether you're on Fox News or Fox Broadcast or wherever the fuck you work, and think that it's good that the Bears hang on to shitty coaches and that's somehow going to be attractive to the next head coach. Because I can tell you it is not. It is not. It's more patheticness. It's absolutely pathetic that you continue this journey with somebody who can't right the ship. The ship is sinking, like I said. You gotta get the right captain. The team isn't hearing it. It's falling on deaf ears.
I hear you, but I'm gonna get out of here.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna finish up the super chats.
Yeah. We'll enjoy our remaining time here in Chicago before we head back.
What's on the docket tonight? You gonna go out to dinner?
Yeah, I think I might just roll with my son here. We'll just do the father-son thing. We've been invited over to Carrie Franklin's, but I got this old ass got about 2 hours of sleep last night. So
take a quick nap, power nap it.
Can't do it like I was in my 20s anymore, that's for sure. So yeah, the Bears definitely don't help. So yeah, I love you guys. We'll have a lot more Wednesday night. I'm keeping.
Might want to bring all of the people on. Try to get a bunch of them on.
Yep, absolutely. So
all right, brother. Shout out to you and Riley. Love you, Riley. Ivan Vargas is calling me during the show. Another red flag on it.
He was heading to Carrie Franklin's also. So
shout out to Carrie Franklin, Jim Larison, helping make this weekend happen.
Yeah, I got to shout out Carrie though, because he came up and we all met at the Walter Payton statue to take pictures with everybody. Yep. And he came up and gave me a big hug. He's like, I'm so glad I got to meet you and Riley. Can't wait to see you again. And I'm like, well, don't forget, Carrie, you're going to see us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. when you come to pick us up, to take us to the airport. He's like, holy shit, I forgot all about that. I'm like,
thank God you reminded
we're not going to forget about that, Carrie. So I'll see
Cherie
you
drove us to the airport.
Yeah.
How was Cherie? Great?
Oh, yeah, the best. Yeah, we had a great time.
I love them all. All right, brother. Get some rest.
Yep.
Enjoy the night.
Will do.
All right.
See you later, man.
Later. The great Shane Marshall, the smartest man, will be back Wednesday night, keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. Might have to get a good guest. I got to give a shout out to Herb Howard for his question. His question to Coach Eberflus, laced with Draft Dr. Phil truth serum in there. Good on you, Herb. Good on you asking that question. That was outstanding. I can't wait to see Greg Braggs and Greg's colleague, his question. Someone have to text that to me. I don't know what it was. The Patriots stuff is coming out that they just knew everything that the Bears were going to do, and the offensive coordinator is so readable. Yeah. Just sign up for TTNL. You'll get the whole scouting report on this clown show. When you can't hire coaches, there becomes an infectious disease. And when you can't hire a coach that has accountability, at the very least, that should be the number one prerequisite. Well, number two, we'll call it 1B, Cars. We'll call it 1B. The head coach has to first step to the podium in training camp and wherever, and never worry about the little things. Those things they come with the price of admission. The big things are the identity, the expectation, and the teaching of fundamentals. That has to be the priority. Before you could do a double swing, pass, reverse, bubble screen, and all this shit, you have to be able to block. You have to call out the front. And you have to know what it is that you want to do each and every week. What do you do well? This is what we do well. And this is what we're going to do. And even if your opponent knows that it's coming, you're not afraid to challenge them to stop it. The Bears don't have that. The Eagles do. The Ravens do. The 49ers do. The Packers do. When you go down the list of the teams that are in Kansas City knows. Go down the list. You practice exactly what you preach. You're going to skip over the mistakes. They're going to happen. How many untimed penalties did the Bears have on this season? Maybe that my girl can help us. Again, she had the 29 sacks. Maybe one of you. How many untimed penalties do the Bears have on this season? That's a reflection of the head coach. How many penalties as a whole do they have? There's a sack in this game. Like Caleb Williams Guy gets his hand right in Caleb's face, just hits him right in the face. Like any other quarterback gets the call there. You're just not getting it because no one respects you as a coach. You're not maniacal. You're a waste. Steed, 232, 499. I'm more mad I allowed myself to have hope. We would have competent offense. We'd be in a playoff contention. This team needs an overhaul. 100%, Steed, 232. Thank you for your super chat. I'm going to get every super chat in before I get off, and I know we have quite a few more. And we've had a long show talking about accountability, referencing the lack thereof with the Chicago Bears and understanding that the Bears are who we thought they were under Eberflus. Yes, Sean. I'm glad Shane finally got to meet you. I'm still alive. About to wrap up. I wish my dad probably would have enjoyed but hated that because that's the kind of person he is. He would hate that the Bears lost to the Patriots in that way because that's what they are. Class. Literally just watch the Chargers do what you said. Exactly. The real head coach understands how you're going to do it, how you're going to attack somebody with your identity. Does Flus have another year on his contract that we aren't aware of? That's the rumor. $4.99, my boy Tom Boson. That's the rumor. It doesn't matter, Tom, if he had 5 more years on his contract. He's gone. And guess what? In 2 weeks of parking that you collect at the stadium, you're paying his contract. That's it. Gives a fuck. You're not paying this guy. You could be still paying Lovie Smith for all we care. Just like the Mets keep paying whoever that fucking player is. They're making so much money, it doesn't matter. You got to get out from under incompetence. At the end of the day, if you're afraid of the coach, that could be the good sign, George. I'm talking to George McCaskey. If you're a little bit afraid of the coach that might embarrass you, that might be a good thing for you. If you're a little uncomfortable in the room with the guy, he intimidates you, that should be a good thing, George. Don't surround yourself with yes men, George. A committee of them. No matter what race, ethnic, or pronoun, I don't care. Don't surround yourself with yes men. Surround yourself with people that are going to put the Chicago Bears first. That are going to isolate on the truth. Let me get into my rant. My final word as I get through these. I owe you all, you amazing fans. Sometimes we give the negative fans too much attention. I get it. But sometimes I gotta hold somebody else accountable. $1.99 tip jar. Thank you, Adam Jenkins. Just throw in a tip jar. Shane was at the game, thus his voice is hoarse. And he was out late at night. He cares. Sucks that we care so much. Ben Hooper, $4.99. Phil, has Caleb changed how he holds the ball or his release? His missed throws are a little concerning. He missed that throw to DJ Moore on that out timing. And then the one to Cole Kmet. Other than that, I'm seeing him release. And sometimes the frustration of the play call affects the release, but I'm not seeing it. Last week I was showing you there's nobody open. They're not even running their routes. Like the wide receiver coach should be fired type of. And there's no accountability. They got to get to the route. If it's a scramble drill, you got to sprint. If that guy's not sprinting, you get the next guy in. But the Bears don't do that. There's my guy, Lawrence Chrisman. I don't see the release issue at all. I see a young quarterback. He's going to miss some throws. They're going to miss some throws. They're not always going to be accurate. And when you're in the realm of chaos beyond anything you can imagine, and it sucks because Colin Cowherd and these guys were talking about the fear of what the Chicago Bears can do to a quarterback, and the Bears fall right into the program and align with a talking head. That's the worst part. It sucks that I've been calling this out for a long time about the coaching, and you're going to have to get better, and you're going to need an alpha coach. Simple. It's not meatballish. It's not coincidence that Dan Campbell took an organization that hasn't fucking won or been a winner in 40-something years, and his personality is dripping on top of what their culture is building. It's not a coincidence. There's a reason why Bill Parcells loved the guy. Lawrence Chrisman, $2. First, EJ, shut the fuck up. Second, it was nice seeing y'all. Well, thank you, Lawrence. I read every one. EJ, you got something to say to? You can come back. I'll read yours. And I appreciate you, Lawrence. Like, we could hear you, Lawrence, me and Steph, but you couldn't hear us saying what a pleasure and honor it is to have such amazing stand-up fans like we do. Really. Rob Iman, $5.99. If Eberflus or Waldron are fired in season, you bubble wrap Caleb and start Bagent the rest of the season. $5.99. I don't agree. No. I feel like Thomas Brown comes in and he becomes your offensive coordinator. Coach Washington becomes the head coach and defensive play caller with Hoke. The two of them, he might end up turning over the defensive play calling to Coach Hoke, but you're getting Coach Washington's energy, competence, his personality, his calmness, and his demeanor out there, and that's just going to help the quarterback. I'm telling you right now, the great ones are great. All of these guys that come out of college, that come in there, they're on that 10% line. There's some that are completely bust that you can just see. They don't have the right moral fabric. They don't have the right character. So they're going to bust. They're not going to do it. I'm not worried at all about Caleb Williams. He's a competitor who's got talent. He's just negligence. It's like I said, the analogy that's best is you're putting a kid that's a really good kid with a foster parent that's abusive, that's just collecting the money and not caring for the kid. That's what the Chicago Bears are with Eberflus and Waldron. God, I'd pay Jim $20 million. End of story. Talking about Jim Harbaugh, $1.99. That's what the Bears should have done. They should have opened their checkbook. And Shane pointed this out. You know, as much as I loved Caleb and called him the best prospect I've ever scouted, which is true, I would have taken Jim Harbaugh, and whatever Jim wanted to do, I would have believed in it because I know he's a competent, real, unbelievable presence, locker room presence, and coach. Those right there are what intimidate the Chicago Bears from being great. And it's sad because they're the organization that's true owner, George Halas, who started the NFL, was just that. Win at all costs. I don't care what. You bite someone's toe off if you have to. And meanwhile, you get the soft side of it. Let's not swear. I'm an umpire. I'm a fan. Blah, blah, blah. It's just atrocious. And I'll tell you right now, I would never tolerate it as head coach. And I can say it honestly. I truly believe if I was the head coach of the Chicago Bears, we would be 7 or whatever we are. We'd have 1 loss. That's it. That's it. I honestly know that this team would be better suited to power run game, action game off of it. And what that guy was talking about, West Coast offense, that kind of philosophy would help this football team. But they don't go out and pay the Jim Harbaughs. They don't. Corn Planter, $2. Phil. Love you, Phil, and love TTNL. Well, I love you too, Corn Planter. I don't know if you were there at the game today to meet all of the TTNL patrons. Shout out to Shane, Marcel, Riley going out to Chicago to root on this football team and meet with you fans. I apologize. I know some of you know, been dealing with a lot with my family and my mom. Really want to thank you all. I really want to thank you all for your love, your support, your prayers. At the end of the day, it's family first, and that's what we hang our hats on. That's the identity. That's one of the pieces of the identity of TTNL. The first and foremost is the tape is the priority. What we see on tape is the truth. That's how you know a head coach. So I'll end this show like this. As I said from the top, the Chicago Bears need an alpha, in desperate need. Somebody that's going to stand in front of the locker room and demand the best out of their team. Those of you that have never been in a locker room when it comes to football don't understand that it's the ultimate team sport. Without the offensive line, without the tight end, without the effort on a 3rd and 2 from the backside block and cutoff, we aren't going to be successful. So when you stand in front of that room, you expect everybody to believe in what you're doing. And when there's disbelief and there's finger pointing, you have to stand in front of the room and take ownership of it. Something Matt Eberflus has never done. Players aren't going to come out here and be the spectacle of football and get their name dragged as they call out their head coach. You just see simple signs of it. The last 3 weeks, you've heard DJ Moore. You've seen things that have come out from Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson. And you see these things that rear their heads. For anybody that's ever coached, understand this man, Matt Eberflus, has lost the locker room. So as you as the GM, when you come on and you praise your coaches and you praise them for your mistakes or your misguided choices, then you're part of the problem too. Because at the end of the day, no quarterback, none that I could think of, can be successful in a situation that the Chicago Bears find themselves in. One with which their head coach is neglectful and completely overjoyed in the monotony of the middle. And what I mean by that is it's okay to be 500. It's okay if you gave your best shot. Meanwhile, this guy doesn't know what someone's best shot is. The best coaches expect more every time. Better the next day. Those are the guys that you want leading your franchise. The Chicago Bears are being run by a middleman, a shoe salesman that is never going to take you to the promised land because he can't get the most out of the players and coaches that he wants. He's a CYA, a cover your ass. And those guys get where they are and fail miserably every time. My final thought on the quarterback is yes, he's got to get better. But we all as fans have to put into perspective what he's dealing with in front of him. The line, the talent surrounding that, the effort, and the head coach. The offensive coordinator is atrocious. So goes the story. It's not an excuse. It's a reality. And that's where we find your miserable Chicago Bears. For everybody that went out there, I so appreciate you. Shane and Riley, have a safe drive, safe ride, flight home. Kerry Franklin, thank you. Jim Larison, thank you. Everybody that went out to the tailgate, Jose Torres, Sean Stewart, thank you. Thank you all for being a part of this crazy family, this maniacal family. I love you all. I'll see you on Keeping It 100. And if you're not a patron, sign up, become a patron today. TheTapeNeverLies.com. You want the truth? Can you handle the truth? Hopefully you can. Keeping It 100 will be live Wednesday night.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.